Uh, a very good evening to all present here. We welcome you to the joint meeting today, which is jointly organized an inter-district synergistic online speaker meeting of the Rotary Club of New Delhi from the District 3011 and the Rotary Club of Nagpur Downtown District 3030. Today we have chosen a very important topic, which is about women's legal rights, protection, and empowerment. And for that, as you have already met, we have invited Dr. Tamali Gupta today, and who's an advocate Supreme Court of India. She's also the founder Tech Law and Trust Foundation. And give me some time, and I shall be sharing with you her bio profile. I would also like to share with you that today this is the meeting number 1003, and we are very happy that we have Rotarian President Jai Prakash Somani from the Rotary Club of New Delhi and Rotarian Prajakta Mangrolkar from the Rotary Club of Nagpur Downtown District 3030. Also today, we are representing, for example, Honorary Secretary Rotarian Vikrant Darwekar and Joint Secretary Rotarian Vikas Seth from the Rotary Club of New Delhi. So this is as far as the meeting is started. Should I go towards President Somani towards the introduction of our honorable speaker?
We have to introduce our club first. So first I will introduce Rotary Club New Delhi.
May I request you to please introduce our club?
Yes.
And any important points which you would like to suggest?
Yes. And after me, then President Prajakta will introduce her club, and then introduction of speaker, and then speaker will speak. So friends, on behalf of Rotary Club New Delhi, I welcome you. Rotary Club of New Delhi is a very vibrant club in District 3011, and we meet regularly in Ashok Hotel. And last year, near about more than 1.5 CR project we have completed. Lasting impact project completed. This year also we are near about more than 2 CR project we are going to complete. And so many innovative ideas are there, like this meeting. 12 meetings we will organize to different inter-district speaker meeting, and inter-district or inside the district with some other club, free legal guidance camp also we are organizing. And thalassemia awareness program, then cervical vaccination, cervical cancer vaccination, then blood donation drive, then giving midday meal, supporting to midday meal program of ISKCON. There are so many landmark projects we have taken in our hand, and our district has introduced some new project like Sabal Yuva, then Kilkari, then Digital Nari. We are focusing on that also. And fellowship meet are also we are taking very nice in future on 13th. Sawan dinner is also our fellowship meet. So twice in a month we are meeting physically. One is for dinner, one is for high tea. And once in a BOD meeting is also with the dinner of our club. And remaining 2 meetings are virtual meetings like a free legal guidance camp and this speaker online meeting. So this is from my side of Rotary Club New Delhi. Now I request Prajakta to introduce her club of Rotary Club Nagpur Downtown. Yes. Prajakta, unmute yourself and then you. Yes, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, yeah, I have done it. Thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to thank Rotary Club of New Delhi and to you as well for giving us this golden opportunity to host a joint speaker meet. Good evening to President Jayaprakash sir, Secretary Amita, and distinguished guest speaker Dr. Tamali and Gupta, and all the dignitaries present here from your club and from our club as well. And I would like to tell about our club. Started in 1996. We have a total 113 members in our club. Our club is a very vibrant club with a mix of all past presidents and a very energetic and enthusiastic members who are working round the clock for the benefit of the society. We have planned n number of projects since our district 3030 DG Dr. Rajesh Patil has planned a lot of projects under various avenues. That includes school bags donations, notebooks donations, which we are taking up and doing round the clock. Apart from that, some big projects like we have done so many global grant projects earlier, and similar on that note, we are planning to do a one global grant project this year as well. Apart from this, there are other happy school projects which we take every year. Like we are doing this happy school project since 2 3 years. One of the biggest our project is a pathology lab project, which is in its 14th year now. It is our flagship projects. Under this, we provide the testing of blood testing in the concessional rate, and whatever the amounts we collect through this, we use it in our service projects. And I would like to thank Dr. Suchita Ingre and Dr. Vikas Ingre for taking up this project very successfully since so many years. And not only this, we have our 4 to 5 interacts, and we have around 6 to 7 interact clubs also, and Rotaract clubs also. Our Rotaract club of YCC is has just now recently yesterday has been ranked one of the top club from the entire district. And entire club of 113 people is co-rated, and they are a very we try to make a very family atmosphere within the club. We conduct regularly our meetings, and this year we have planned to conduct board meeting and a business meeting every month. Apart from this, we are also planning to conduct a speakers meet, which we have already done last month. In the coming month also, we will be keep on conducting speakers meet from the various fields. Yesterday only we have completed our club assembly very successfully, and I for the other part which we have planned, I request my club honorary secretary Rotary Vikrant Dharwekar to please highlight on the coming and the upcoming projects and the club announcement from our Rotary Club of Nagpur downtown. Over to you, Vikrant.
Yes, Vikrant, you can unmute
Good
yourself.
evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Just in context of the club announcement, we started this month with an Interact Club installation at a school in Basantrao Dundiraj Paraspe Memorial School. Interact Club was installed. And then on 5th of August, yes, is yesterday, our club conducted a club assembly. It was a very successful club assembly. Today, we are, of course, associated with Delhi Club or New Delhi Club for the joint speaker meet. On 8th August, again, we have an Interact Club installation at Mankar Vidyalaya, which is around 30 kilometers from Nagpur. Akanksha app, which is a study app which is designed for 10th class students of all the Maharashtra board, that is being distributed free of cost by our club at a lot of schools. And then we'll be having computer upgradation in Vivekanand School in Kalamna. Then there is a concurrent notebooks distribution project which has been initiated by our club, and we are taking it further. That is going to be at Brahmanand Maske School, Kalamna. These all are rural schools where actually the needy students are very much there. 14th August, we'll be having a board meeting. On 15th August, we conduct flag hosting at a designated place in Lakshmi Nagar. There is a art chowk, there is a square. Then on 22nd August, we have a business meet, which will be followed by a fellowship event of Antakshari. And 23rd August, actually, we are also part of a thalassemia awareness and eradication drive, wherein our District 3030 has undergone or undertaken an MOU with a local land Samiti, wherein Rotary will be participating in the awareness as well as supporting in the sample collection drive for specifically for thalassemia screening. This is in line with the government vision 2047 for thalassemia eradication. So we are planning for that, and in context of this, there is a lab in Nagpur wherein we are planning to donate a van for the thalassemia awareness as well as phlebotomist commuting that will be facilitating the commuting of the phlebotomists from distant part of the Vidarbha. And that's what we are planning for 23rd August. And then 29th August, we are having a TRS program, which will be conducted at one of our Rotarians. So that's our plan for this month. In all, we are going to have an action-packed month for this month. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Vikrant.
Over to you, Vikas.
Yeah, thank you, President Jayaprakash Somani. So welcome to the today's meeting, which is an online meeting number 1003. And today's meeting is open to Rotarians, Rotarians, women, lawyers, students, legals, anyone interested in women's legals empowerment, which is the topic for the day. For the club announcements, today we are having the All India Online Speaker Meeting. On the 8th of August, we shall be having the joint Rotaract installation of our 4 clubs, which is a club called Trinity International Services, TIPS. The second is Maharaja Agrasen Community. The third, our club is IGTTUW, which is Indira Gandhi Technical University of Women, right? On the 13th of August, we are having a Savan dinner as proposed by our president. The details will be followed. On the 20th of August, we are having again an all India level speaker meeting, which is proposed to be a physical meeting as of now. And maybe I shall, if possible, ask President Somani later in the vote of thanks to share something about it. On 24th August, the club, Rotary Club of New Delhi, shall be having a board of directors meeting, 6 p.m. onwards, which shall be held at the India Habitat Center, and I believe it is being hosted by Rotarian Radha Sood. So that's about some of the incoming meetings. And if I have the permission, then I shall, President, go towards the introduction of the speaker for today.
Yes.
So in our land, whenever we start with something, some auspicious meeting, auspicious kind of community work, we always start with a shloka, which I would like to recite for you. And please join me in my feelings and emotions. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santi niramaya, sarve bhadrani paschantu, ma kachit bhav bhave. On this note, I shall straight away, without wasting any time, I'm so grateful to our speaker of the day, Dr. Tamali Sen Gupta, who I also have had a chance of meeting her personally a few times. And she's an advocate on the Supreme Court of India. She's a founder of the Tech Law and Trust Foundation. She's the current managing partner of T. Sen Gupta and Associates. She's worked in the technology, in the IP, and the constitutional, as a constitutional lawyer. And she has a 40 years of experience behind her. She's also a noted and avid lawyer, author in the tech, law, and trust field. Friends, may I also like to share about some of her educational qualifications. Dr. Tamali Sen Gupta is a Doctor of Science of Law from the Stanford Law University, California, which she completed in the year 1991. She did a Master's of Science of Law, JSM, in 1988 from the Stanford Law School, Stanford University, California. She's a Bachelor of Law, LLB, 1986 from the University of Delhi. She's a Bachelor's of Arts in Economics Honors in 1983 from the prestigious Lady Shri Ram College, University of Delhi. Now, I'm so thankful, Dr. Saab, that you did mention about some of your aspects of your work, but which I would like to formally submit to all the people who have gathered here today. And I'd like to present an executive summary. Dr. Tamali Sen Gupta is a technology and intellectual property lawyer whose practice runs from constitutional litigation in the Supreme Court to semiconductor and the AI policy. She's a founder of Tech Law and Trust Foundation, a policy institution working on sovereign intellectual property, AI governance, semiconductor policy, and the quantum readiness of India and Global South. And I've already mentioned to you that she is the author of Tech Law and Trust, India's Path to Intellectual Property Sovereignty. She has been a lawyer for 40 years, and 36 of them being in the private practice. She has represented across spectrum, entertainment, infrastructure, real estate, energy, insurance, corporate law, and her work runs from arbitration and litigation through joint ventures, collaborations, and licensing, and obviously mergers and acquisitions, including transactions which are structured for privatization and project finance. Dr. Tamali Sen has served on the boards of Araya Hotels, which is with the JW Marriott, the HFCL and HDL, which is a joint venture of the Government of India. She has previously served as director of the SRE Infrastructure NBFC and other companies. Notable of them, some of the large companies like the Sony Pictures Entertainment Films India Private Limited, TSG Legal Consulting, Access India Advisors Limited, and Bali India Private Limited. She's a founder of the TSG Education Foundation, which works on technology, strategy, and trust. And she has widely published and has spoken by invitation at Stanford University, the Salzburg Seminars, the Casbah, the FICCI Frames, Rotary International, the Jindal Law School, and USIBC events. May I also share with you that she has a wide range of publications, which is here with me in the bio profile, but I shall kind of leave that to the speaker eventually to incorporate in her speech or in her words. And she has had a wide and vast experience starting from 1996 to 2026. On this note, before I invite Dr. Tamali Sen Gupta to present her speech, I would like to share a small shairi with you, which is on the subject of today, which is on the women empowerment, protection, and empowerment.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
कठपुतली करे भी तो क्या करे, नाचना तो पड़ेगा, क्योंकि डोरी तो किसी और के हाथ में है. With this, Dr. Saab, may I please invite you and request you to present your presentation.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is all sounds wonderful. It's बहुत अच्छा लगता है to hear about yourself spoken by others. But having said that, I'm a curious person. So I think today you'll find my presentation is not necessarily just about women and the law, but it's a bit bigger. So let's start with religion, for instance. Every religion has a system of rights, responsibilities, and entitlements of women. India had many different legal systems. We had Mitakshara, we had Daya Bhaga, we had the Kerala system. Each of them came with a different set of rules in respect to women's right to ownership of property and women's entitlement to any kind of economic usufruct from the land or from their own children, for instance. So in all of Mitakshara India, there was the concept of Stridhan. So that is dowry. So essentially, a girl was given movable properties during her marriage time because she was not entitled to inherit any immovable property from her father. Okay, so unless it was given to the son-in-law, then it was not going to be there. So they made a short form of it to say that, okay, now शादी के time में जो देना होगा वो दे देंगे. After that, the laws in North India, for instance, changed, and we got the Hindu Code Bill. Now, the shadows of the past do not go very far. They follow us all the time. And so, though the government of India changed the laws, the societal aspects did not change. Now, what did the societal aspects say? The societal aspect said that women, once married, stayed in their husband's home till death. मतलब डोली जाएगी और अर्थी वापस आएगी. मतलब there's no other concept. Then we had other concepts, which is that her parents could not come to visit क्योंकि लड़कियों के घर से पानी भी नहीं पीते हैं. Right, so there were all these old traditions which have carried on, and the older Rotarians will remember some of these. So now, even though the legal structure has changed, the insidiousness of the past has not. So while Hindu Code Bill allows full freedom, like for women to inherit, this is in most states limited only to urban property. Does not go to inheritance of ancestral property in rural areas, because those are governed by state laws which specifically exclude daughters in many parts of India, including Uttar Pradesh. So a woman in Uttar Pradesh may be able to inherit part of her father's house in Lucknow, but she cannot inherit his agricultural land unless the state laws are amended. So it's not as simple as a central law. When we look at the constitutional guarantee of equality, say, let us talk today about equality of men and women in terms of inheritance rights. There is a completely uneven level playing field between both Hindu women and Muslim women. And the reason for that is in 4 states, the Common Civil Code has come in, and where women have equal rights of inheritance under, say, laws which do not have the common UCC, there are still differential practices. So a review would need to be done of the laws of inheriting agricultural property everywhere. And if property cannot physically be given to the women because they cannot physically hold on to it, they should be given some sort of compensation or some monetary recompense for that. So this is one. And no doubt they will have to deduct the cost of wedding and dowry or whatever paid, if that is fair share in inheritance father. Again, the laws vary tremendously across communities. Hanafi law for Muslims is almost the same. Women cannot inherit agricultural land from their fathers. So, for instance, it would make very little difference if you are. If you are, for instance, a Muslim woman in Assam, you can inherit from your father or your husband. But if you are a Muslim woman in UP, then you cannot inherit the agricultural land. Also, women cannot inherit agricultural land under the state code. So there are these complexities. It's a complete minefield of rights. And this is what goes in the name of religion. Now, I've met women who were like the wives of ambassadors and very high ranking people, very sophisticated, who went into complete shock when they were deprived of any share of their ancestral parental properties. Now, equally, there's a system which is fairly common where the property devolves if a man only has daughters, the property devolves on the sons of the brother. Okay, so this used to be the system in Hindus. That has now changed, but it's still the system, again, as I said, in certain branches of Islamic law. So it's complex. It's not easy to talk about freedom of religion vis-a-vis freedom of women's rights, because the two are not compliant. there is a direct contradiction between the promises of the Constitution of India and the actual reality of what happens on the ground. In Hindu law, there is the concept of, women sign a document before marriage saying that they are giving up all rights to inheritance. In Muslim law, there is a concept of meher mafi, where the husband promises a certain sum of money, but after marriage, during the honeymoon, he makes the wife sign a document saying that no meher will be given. So, so these kind of aberrations, regardless of what rules are made to protect the financial position of women, these kind of aberrations are taking place. So now, so I've talked about Hindu law to some extent. I've talked about Muslim law, and this constant conflict is going on. I know IS officers who are women who are still fighting their families to get some share of the inheritance, if not the, equal portion. But they basically, people don't want to give anything to married daughters. So, agar dowry nahi liya ho, which is against the law, it's illegal. They're going to get responsibilities from their parental side and their in-laws side, but they will not get a share of the property from the parental side. So this is the reality. Now we come to the other part of what I wanted to talk about. You need equal laws. Empowerment comes from a checkbook. Ultimately, women who have the power to sign a check in their own name have financial power and therefore economic power and therefore societal power. So it's not as simple as just talking about physical violence, etc. I think those aspects are well covered. Now, one of the interesting aspects for me, for instance, I'm from a family where we were two daughters and we both studied and worked, and I continue to work like a dog because I love working. I've married, I had my children, I took years off to raise my children. But now that I'm well into my 60s, I'm extremely happy to be working. And I don't really care, the finances are not an issue anymore, but to keep your brain engaged, to stay sharp on the job is so much better for me than attending casual gossip sessions or, flaunting a designer bag or that sort of thing. So I just don't find it interesting. So I think about subjects that many other people don't necessarily think about. It's a sort of a social observation come social skill. Now, one of the things that has amazed me is that other parts of the world, women fought for the right to vote. In our grandparents' generation, there were women like Sarojini Naidu. There were women who were active in the freedom movement. There's that amazing example from Gujarat where the Pakistani army was coming in and all the village women worked like 48 hours or more to build a bridge, to break a bridge, I think it was, to prevent their troops from entering their village and attacking women. So the point is that women in India have traditionally not been lazy. They have been very hardworking. If anything, they've done a disproportionate part of the work in places like Himachal, etc., where you hardly see the men in the fields. It's the women work in the fields, they do other work, and the men are just they're men. So they prepare for battle or they smoke or whatever they do because, that's how it is. And not that I have a problem with that. Now, what's happened in urban India is I've met, I would say in my age group, at least 80% of women are not working. Okay, nor are they doing social work, which our grandmothers did. Our grandmothers were very active with All India Women's Conference, organizing embroidery, like working with poor women, income schemes, AIWC. So this is what one grew up with when there was active movement in India towards working women's hostels, towards empowering women from poorer sections of society. Today's generation, what has happened is there are a lot of women who are not aware of the struggles of the previous generation. And fortunately or unfortunately, that window that was opened for equality may close at some point. It may close in the name of religion. It may close in the name of society. It may close in different, but the right people have taken for granted that we have the right to vote, we have the right to study, we have the right to work if we feel like, and used it to not avail of that opportunity to do nothing, that right may get taken away, as it has in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Iran. Afghanistan had some of the first set of women legislators. There were extremely smart women who were doctors, they were lawyers. And in our lifetime, we've seen those rights getting taken away. If you go to village India, they will always talk about our women versus आप लोग. आप लोग अलग हो, हमारी औरतें अलग है. So we should not be so complacent and sort of surround ourselves with jewels, designer bags, and get massages. Women need to get out there and earn, work, or do something productive for society, because man was created to earn by the sweat of his brows. Just getting married and bearing children is not sufficient work, in my view, because you don't have big joint families anymore. You have nuclear families. पहले परिवारों में मेरी नानी थी. She had 25 people living and eating in her house 3 times a day. So her whole life went in the kitchen because she was always taloing puris or making something, because itne rishtedar hote the. Today's situation is not that, because more and more women I meet who don't cook because they don't feel the need to cook. So forget about it being a duty. I'm not talking about duty. If you are human, you must eat. If you eat, you must go to the kitchen. So they don't want to do that. So it's a very peculiar sort of we are living between the intersection of modernity and antiquity, where some women think wearing trousers and smoking is modernity, when, say, in my view, modernity is about getting an education, helping somebody, help yourself, help somebody else, but just help, keep working. Use those degrees. Don't waste the education subsidy that the government has given to become an IIT engineer and sit at home. According to me, it's a complete waste. It's a national shame. Similarly, for doctors, you look at the number of lady doctors who are just home now because they don't. I mean, you have to take time off as a woman because you do need to have your children and raise your family, and you're entitled to work 2 hours a day or 10 hours a day, but don't go into 10 years of not working. So that is a very strong message I would give, because the freedoms we have had, the entitlement we talk about, the empowerment we talk about can all go away. Number one. So this is a very important point for me. And then when I see working women fighting these 498 cases of domestic violence to get more money out of the husband, that is even more. If you are a strong, independent woman with good degrees, you should be able to earn your own living. And if you have to take alimony because your children are small, you must do so. But routinely, if you just look at the backlog of 498 cases, many of them, they cannot prove any cruelty. They have no medical records. They have no eyewitnesses. But they just filed the case so that they can extort money or, whatever the motivation is. Earlier, it was because women wanted custody of the children. Then the Supreme Court intervened and said the mother is also a natural guardian of the children. Earlier, only the father was the natural guardian. Then about, 20 years ago, something like that, they changed the laws and said that no, the mother can also be the natural guardian. So therefore, the earlier rule, which is boys above the age of 6 have to be returned to the father to be raised based on the benefit of the child. Earlier, what was happening is mother-in-law staying at home, child will be handed over to the mother-in-law. Now that is not the case, and they see the ability of the mother to provide and have access to her children. I have, in the course of my years in law, actually met a princess from Rajasthan, married into another royal family, who was denied access to see her children. Every time the custody issue would come up and visitation would come, it was not convenient for her ex-husband to bring the children. So there are sad cases like this, which have even happened in royal families. And, we are talking about common people. I know one woman who used to stand on the corner of the road to see her children going by bus to their school because she was not allowed to meet them. So this kind of thing has to happen. There has to be a rational process of meeting allocation, not denying either father or the mother the right to meet their children, and a rational approach towards women earning in some capacity or the other, training themselves to earn and continued learning. We are moving into a generation where we have AI is rapidly taking over. Whatever education you got 30 years ago is completely irrelevant today. If you are not constantly learning or learning to learn, in the words of the Minister of Meiti, you will fall behind. It really doesn't matter what you studied 20 years ago or the fact that you topped in class 2. Those are not relevant anymore. The world ahead will only be for learners and for people who are constantly engaging in plasticity of the brain. So this is where, so when we talk about women's rights, there is an aspect of physical entitlement, which is covered by criminal law in great detail. And that is not our subject today, because you have the courts for that, you have the police for that. And as you know, any criminal procedure is not prosecuted by men, it is prosecuted by the state. So even 498 is not by men, it is by the state. But abuse of 498 is a human rights issues, which is of concern to, I mean, it is a matter of concern if you look at how many people's lives have been ruined, and they are the men can't get jobs because they fail the verification check because there's a criminal case lodged against them, and the case gets delayed again and again simply because there's actually no evidence. There are no photographs, there's no medical record, there's nothing to prove that these incidents ever happened. I'm not saying they didn't, but there has to be some proof for something. Otherwise, they have to assume that if it is going to be, if you get paid to discharge false cases, it is a violation of the basic rights of men also, who have not engaged in violence and who have just not got along with their wives for different reasons. So women have to stop seeing marriage as a meal ticket. They need to keep earning, and they cannot hold their husband responsible for their upkeep for the rest of their life for all eternity. And yes, if they're going to give their productive years to raising children in another person's family, then they should definitely be taken care of. Children should be taken care of, but they cannot make this an excuse to never work. So let's put it this way: my campaign is for women to move from a position of entitlement to a position of contributing to society, using their significant skills to make the lives of other better. It's the same. Social work, earning for a living, it's all the same. You don't need to do. You don't need to earn a living, so well and good. Look at Udayan Care. Udayan Care is a wonderful organization which provides homes, care homes for buy a place, they put the children there, they raise them, give them training, and the way it's managed is by house mothers. So wealthy women who have time on their hands come and spend the full day every day being a house mother for that day, once a week. This is a socially relevant activity. This is an important relevant activity because these children are the citizens of India for the future. They are the future Indians. And if we don't give them anything to hold on to, they will be rampaging on the streets. So it's very, very important for women to contribute back to society. If you don't have 10 children, as our grandmothers had, then give to other people's children. But contribute, work, make every day count in terms of your hard work. And maybe this is a phenomenon that is peculiar to Delhi at this time, where a lot of wealthy families, the women just feel I've given birth to children and I've worked so hard raising them, so that's That's my purpose. The IIT degrees can just get eaten by termites. They don't count. So this is, I think, when you don't, you cannot really do Devi Puja if the Devi herself is not worthy of respect, because she is not working. She doesn't respect herself enough to respect her training. So I are wealthy and some are not. But I think 90% of men in a certain group work hard. It's different among poorer people because a lot of the men drink and their wives work and they steal the wives' money and drink some more. If you take crafts, if you teach crafts to a woman in the name of empowerment, she will learn, she will make things, and then her husband will take it to the money and drink with that money. So these are all social evils. So it comes down to religion, it comes down to self respect of the women, and it comes down to the need to provide a safe environment where women can explore their full potential as human beings. We come from the land of Lakshmi Bai and Indira Gandhi. They were not lazy people. They were warriors. They were politicians. Look at the women who are doctors, who are delivering babies, dealing with life and death situations every day. Okay, so more women need to understand that it is important to work your degrees, work your skills, constantly learn, and don't live through the borrowed glory of your husband or your children, because they too will go. They move. The children will go on. The husband will keep doing whatever he's doing. But learn some self respect for your degrees, for your persona, for this life that God has given you, and for the talent and capability that is inborn to you in whatever area. It doesn't matter. If you want to do crochet, do crochet. If you want to paint, paint. If you want to cook, cook. But do something, be busy. Don't spend your time gossiping and just watching television. Life is not only about enjoyment, it is also about service. So I think I've been speaking for half an hour now, and I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say in terms of my message. The courts are there for extreme situations, but for everything else, it comes down to physician, heal thyself. Look at your face in the mirror and say, do I see someone I can truly respect? And rise to the standards that you set for yourself so that you can look at yourself as an admirable creature who has conquered all odds. So, yeah, women's empowerment is not just about getting things, it's also about empowering yourself mentally and financially. Instead of buying lehengas, put the money into a fixed deposit. You don't need a 16 lakh lehenga, you know. So that's the whole point. This wasteful expenditure that's happening somewhere, some people need, sanity needs to prevail for the country as a whole, and women particularly need to start taking themselves more seriously. Build your businesses, sell them, flip them, get rich. There are enough women doing that. If you look at Nika, you look at Kiran Mazumdar Shaw. They don't talk about empowerment. They don't need to, because they have empowered themselves. They have empowered themselves. They don't need to be told that somebody else will empower them. So
Very
that
nice.
should be the role model. So I think it's been like half an hour and 3 minutes, Mr. Somani. Should we
Yes.
open up to questions or discussion?
Yes. Now,
Can I just say something, President, with your permission,
yes.
to
Yes.
Doctor? Dr. Tamali Sen Gupta, would you be kind enough to share some of your thoughts on the latest Gen Z, as we can say? I mean, not necessarily to do with a protest or Andolan, but generally, what is, because they are almost at the cusp of our future, as you've rightly gotten AI and quantum and semiconductors. At this point, would you like to share a little bit about that? And some part of our maybe wealthy Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, where they are spending crores of rupees in weddings and lengas, which you mentioned. A little bit more, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So it's like this. Gen Z is truly confused between COVID and, first this whole chaos happened over demonetization and then the chaos over COVID, I think some children are very, very confused about their role. Parents are overprotective. During COVID, many of the boys moved back home to their parents and immediately reverted to being 12 years old. तो मम्मी के हाथ के खाने का आदत फिर से पड़ गया. सो like अच्छा ही तो चल रहा है, mummy is making parathas. So the process by which boys became men has sort of reversed by 3 years. People who left home have gone back home. And so, yeah, it remains to be seen what, but I get complaints from everybody that the COVID generation of children have some major lack of planning ability, time management that previous generations didn't have, because the 3 years when they should have been out there exploring, we all grew up playing in the fields, playing pittu, pali, climbing trees. That's not how kids are being raised today. And you can blame the computers for that, but it's not the computers. Computers are just a way to keep them safe because our cities are not safe. Parents are busy. There's no nana nannies around to watch them. So it's a difficult situation. But self-reliance. I have lived in the US, and every child is taught cooking because they have to feed themselves. It's not about a gender role. All the men cook and all the women cook because if you live, you must eat. And you don't necessarily have to eat as a female, cook as a female duty, but everybody should know how to handle their laundry, how to cook, how to keep your house basically clean. And I've heard too many people say, this is not my job. I had tenants who, interestingly, was a lawyer, and they would not keep the bathrooms clean. So I went there and I was like, what is this nonsense? I'm the landlady, okay, and I expect you to keep my premises in better order. They turned around and said, we are high caste people. We don't do bathrooms. We don't need to do this because this is for somebody else to do. I couldn't believe it. Needless to say, I let those tenants go because I don't subscribe to this, that you're using somebody else's premises, you're trashing it, and then you talk about your caste. Okay, I don't care what your caste is. Keep my bathrooms clean. you know so this kind of nonsense has to stop. The gender roles which moms have, everything is changing now, and people need to change. Men need to change, women need to change, and most of all they need to keep working because their grandmothers and grandfathers only worked, their parents only worked. I think this is the first generation where among the wealthy people are working less and less on skills. They are spending more and more time on enjoyment and less time on skill development. So I constantly meet people who are from outside Delhi who come, and whether you like it or not, the courts are in English. And if you make it Hindi, the country will split simply because not everybody speaks Hindi and not everybody wants to speak Hindi. Bollywood has done more to popularize Hindi than the government ever has. English is one of our official languages, and it's an Indian language. You know why it's an Indian language?
Because it is approved by the Constitution of India.
No, because the Anglo-Indians and the people of Nagaland and Meghalaya say English is their mother tongue.
Oh.
So an Indian language is any language which is the mother tongue of a section of the population. So there are states in the Northeast and Anglo-Indian communities who say English is their mother tongue. And for people like us, frankly, I mean, I speak, read, and write 3 languages, but I am most conversant in English because over the years, the practice has just been that. And, honestly say, Somani ji, what would you and I have in common if I started speaking in Bengali to you?
Yes.
Nothing. So then Hindi mein bol sakti hu, but frankly, legal drafting in Hindi is very challenging.
Very, very, very hard to read also.
Very difficult to read, and a lot of cheating happens because between the English and the Hindi translation, they omit certain clauses.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of, 420 behavior is happening all the time. So if Hindi ever becomes the norm, then you can assume there will be a lot more fraudulent transactions simply from the process of translating documents. Because whole sections of every community are conversant with the English form. We just have to accept English is an Indian language. It is not a foreigner's imposition. And
Yes.
it is a boon actually for the country, because all our great success in IT and all is because we all speak English. We are speaking today in English. हम लोग हिंदी में भी बोल सकते हैं, नागपुर से लोग समझ जाएंगे, पर अगर आज की डेट पे आप साउथ इंडिया के कोई क्लब के साथ करते फिर कोई नहीं समझता.
Correct, correct, correct.
Correct?
Yes,
So
yes.
the thing is that
And
we
then,
have to.
and even though this webinar is between Nagpur Club and New Delhi Club, but this is all India level webinar.
जी,
From
जी,
all over India, people are joined here.
right.
So we have to use any common language only. Yes.
Correct.
Right,
So my
right.
message to, I think a lot of the ladies.
Any other question, Raju ji?
Yeah, so I was commenting that there's a difference between the Gen Z struggles today and in our time. They feel that our life was much easier. We had a stable job, growing economy, tech growing in India, and the whole IT industry made the young people aspire and adopt it, and they were made wealthy. But now they feel there's a lot of competition. There are not enough jobs. The corporate uh, situations have changed because people are looking to outsource, and even in Indian jobs, and temporarily they are working. So there are a lot of self-entrepreneurs which are encouraged now, and you have to become an employer rather than being an employee.
Right.
So that is the process that is on. So, what is your view that? And then, of course, being nuclear families, both husband and wife have to work to sustain even a fair amount of lifestyle, unless they are relying on their parental income and
Right.
parental assets. So, I would like to get your views on what you see in India and abroad, because I just came back from overseas in US, and that's my experience
So,
there.
if you look at Lijjat Papar, the
Mm.
women are not exactly unempowered. They
Mm.
may be Gujarati housewives, but they are churning out those pappers, making money and running their families. Okay, so empowerment. Talking about empowerment is not the prerogative only of the English educated. There are empowered women in every society and every strata of society. And as I said, women in the village areas work very hard. I go to Himachal a lot, and the women are out from the morning in the mountains collecting fodder for the cows. They climb trees, they go up and down the hills, they break their legs. Then they come back and they put on a chula, like they put fire, and they make rotis and they cook. They wake up every morning at 4:30 a.m. and they milk the cows, bathe the cows, clean their stalls, and then if they have their jobs, they go to work. These are the hardworking women.
Right
Okay,
now,
and
this situation, I
then there are
feel
hardly working women.
so. I feel
Hard,
this village women are different because rural agriculture is protected in India. It's not allowed to be corporatized or industrialized, and there was a lot of so they have to so they cannot be an organized farming in India. What I'm talking about is a urban women and urban
right.
children. Now, how do they? Do you see any difference in how they have to go about?
What I see is that some urban children don't seem to have any skills. They don't know how to do anything with their hands. So the fine motor skills, which was there in India from our ancestors, crafts of sculpture, woodworking, a simple thing like doing a rangoli, they can't do all that. They've lost the skills, and because parents have said it's not necessary. So if you cannot do rangoli, then you can't do surgery either. So it all comes down to the finesse of your hands, which is why, say, Islam focuses so much on calligraphy. So we have willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or unknowingly, replaced a whole system of traditional knowledge with a certain degree of comfort in book knowledge, which has now become obsolete. because AI is replacing all of that. AI can write an essay better than you.
Yeah.
So, what is the point of your putting together an essay over 1 month? You'll put it together, you'll have headaches, people will fall ill, you'll fall down. Ek mahine baad, new associate will come with some paper saying, I've done this, and you put it into a cloud of perplexity, and it will come out in 5 minutes. So,
Yeah. So those skills have become redundant, but
uh,
they have to learn new skills. They have
they
to,
have to learn skills with their hands.
and also creativity in terms of, I don't think AI can replace creativity or dexterity of human hands and things like that. So they have to learn skills, things which are dexterous, require dexterity as well as creativity. So in India, we haven't created too many things lately. There are very few inventions or creative things. We have adapted to what the world has created for us. Now only we are thinking of
Yeah,
creating new things and leading. India was a knowledge power in our ancient Vedic times. So we were the leader in terms of science and knowledge and medical knowledge and everything. Even Shushruta invented the surgery. But
correct.
now we are not.
Rhinoplasty developed
Yeah,
from Sushrutra's techniques.
yeah. It is still used, but of late we haven't innovated, and companies and industries are not spending too much on R&D. They are mostly our R&D expense is 0.3% of our GDP. So
Right.
how will we go ahead and create something and give it to the world? And
Well,
that is the opportunity that will be for
uh,
Gen Z and Gen
so,
Alpha and others.
the thing is, if the men don't get jobs, then the women have to also figure out what they do. Because
Yeah,
you can't have the freedom to marry, have a husband look after you, and you look after your children. If the husband doesn't have a job, then what?
yeah,
So that whole model is actually under threat because I think men are scared to marry because they don't want to take on the responsibility. Women
right.
are even more scared. Bottom line is we're a society in a state of flux, and we have a couple of hundreds of centuries of culture living side by side, cheek by jowl. Okay, there are people who are living the same way as your great grandparents, and there are people who are living the same way as your grandparents. And then there's you, whatever it is. If if you said you've just come from the US, the most common thing you see in the US is, for instance, the restaurants. So
Mm,
people who know how to cook open a restaurant, but now
right,
they don't even know how to cook.
right.
So what are they going to do? They can't. They don't know plumbing. They
So,
don't know
so I,
carpentry.
yeah. So I think the government is creating the or molding the education system towards employability skills. So in the US, even if you're a plumber, you have to take a course and be certified. It costs a lot of money. You can't be a plumber without a formal certification. And if you go to work, you have to get an insurance so that you don't break anything. Same is for an electrician or even a taxi driver. You have to get a taxi driver license, not just a license to drive. So I think the government is thinking on employable skills, and same for men and women. And therefore, you have to get certification and a formal and a scientific way of doing your job. And you should know
So
the tools that are there available to do those jobs and things like that.
it's about continuous learning. You will be a student all your life from this point on. And you can't, as I said, sit back and say, I stood first in class two.
Yeah.
And I got
Uh,
5 golden gold stars.
yes. Thanks for a nice
That's not
discussion.
relevant anymore.
Yes, thanks for nice discussion. Let cover other questions from other audience. If any questions related to women in power, kindly unmute yourself and ask your questions to speaker.
Thank you, Tamali ma'am, for this wonderful guidance and whatever you have said. I do agree with this that today's children are living in a very comfort zone actually. And I think the parents are parents are also responsible for the upbringing of the current situation, because whatever the children are doing, they are doing just because the parents are both parents are working, and they don't have time to give the proper guidance to the children. And I do agree that today's being a nuclear family, it becomes also difficult in today's scenario, where the everything is very costly, and both husband and wife are just after earning, and they are not focusing more on the children. So we need definitely to change this scenario. Otherwise, the Gen Z will be totally different era, and we will forget one day what our children are doing in future also. So it's very, very important in today's scenario to focus more on children, and to teach them to teach our children everything whatever we have done earlier during our stage. So it is our responsibility also to guide our children and to teach them at certain levels.
Yeah, they have to, they're not falling on their knees. If you look at the knees of the children, they'll have no scars on them. We all had plenty of scars from falling off the bike, this, that, यहाँ लग गया, वहाँ लग गया. अब तो लगता ही नहीं है बच्चों को.
Yeah, because we are giving a very comfortable life to our children. You know, if you see earlier, हर एक घर में you will see एक 8-8 10-10 हुआ करते थे बच्चे. But now if you will see, everyone is having in a nuclear family. Everyone is having either 1, 2, or maximum is 3 nowadays. So we parents are is also responsible at some point of time, because we are very overprotective towards our children, because we feel that हमने जो नहीं किया वो हमारे बच्चों को मिलना चाहिए. Right. So we are also responsible at some point.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's a complex scenario. I don't have solutions. I only have questions, and everybody has to answer those questions by themselves according to their circumstances. But but we are in a very difficult position. As I said, if you go to Miss, Rotary Sondi said he went to the US. Everybody can cook. Almost everybody can cook. But हमारे young generation, आप यकीन नहीं करोगे. My daughter, she was with a group called ISEC. So they had a training session of some 30-40 children in college who had come to our house, and they were being trained all over the house, whatever ISEC does. So I organized some snacks. I ordered some food and something. And my daughter got scolded because they said you should not have organized food. Because not everybody can give food. Therefore, if you set a standard that food will be served, then other people may feel bad, which is point. But then I told her, I said, look, it can't be that 30 children come to my house and go away hungry and thirsty. Okay, these are the values I've learned from my grandparents. But क्या है कि the culture has changed also. The culture has changed, things have changed, and we have to just adapt with it and accept this is what it is. As long as our children can survive, we have to teach them skills to survive, because tomorrow, if we take so much for granted, air conditioning will be there, but when I was a child there was no air conditioning. I still remember summers when we would put water on the floor. Delhi gets very hot. Would put water on the entire floor so that the water would evaporate slowly and cool the place. That is in my childhood in Delhi, in a prestigious neighborhood. There was एक AC आया था. It was my parents' room. And then we could sleep on the floor if we wanted. Otherwise, if we had to study or something, we'd have to be in our own rooms, which were non-air.
Yes. And weighted curtains also.
Yeah, you put water on everything just so that you can study through the night, because you have exams coming. So our children don't know all that. They know about this as little as they know about Vivid Bharati alarm clocks.
Dr. Smita want to say something. Dr. Smita?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I'm a dental surgeon. I and also keep talking to patients. So my one of my patients is like, I don't let my daughters work because I'm a housewife. I did all these things lifelong. इसका कोई मुझे return मिला नहीं है. Now my daughters will only study. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to drive also. She drives them to the classes. She drives them to the hobby classes or maybe to the school. And she doesn't allow them to come into the kitchen. So it is not only the Gen Z, it is the mothers who are in that position.
Who get their own importance by being making the children and husband feel that उनके बगैर कुछ भी नहीं होगा. So it's for their own ego that they're doing it. I
So
met
that,
one lady who would make simla mirch, take all the seeds out, and then she would cook the simla mirch. I said, "Why are you doing this?" She said, "Because मेरे बच्चों को आदत नहीं है बीज खाने की. So I take
so,
all the seeds from everything."
so
So
it's not only Gen Z, it's about their parents also. They should also be counseled.
उनको जो करना करे उनका टाइम निकल गया है बट इफ यू आर रेजिंग चिल्ड्रन विथ हैंडीकैप्स देन इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर देम ओनली सोसाइटी को क्या लेना देना इफ योर किड कांट फीड themselves they can't feed themselves you know so they're not being children are not being taught to be self sufficient. They're being taught very little. I remember my daughter came back from school, and because I have girls, I put them in self defense classes. So they learned some basic, martial arts. And my daughter came and said, "Mom, you won't believe it. These boys had a fight, and they were all scratching each other. None of them know how to pull a punch." So this is a situation you can't imagine. Earlier, boys बड़े होते थे एक दूसरे को पीट पीट के. Okay, this was normal. You never thought you have to teach a
that's
boy
the actual
how to
situation
make a
nowadays.
fist and punch. You never
इनफैक्ट
thought.
मैम इनफैक्ट झगड़े तो बाहर के बाहर ही सुलझ के आते थे यू नो वी वर नेवर यूज्ड टू टेल आवर पेरेंट्स आल्सो कि आज ये झगड़ा हुआ वो आई डोंट रिमेम्बर आई एम कंप्लेनिंग टू माय मदर कि ये हुआ हम लोग बाहर ही निपटा लेते थे
हाँ but
हाँ
ये अभी
पेरेंट्स
सिचुएशन
क्या
वैसा
बोलते
नहीं
थे
है.
पिट के मत आना वापस.
मार खा के मत आना, मार के आना.
So,
That's true.
so things have changed, and we keep talking about, oh, this is great, that is great. If the boys don't know how to pull punches, then what what are they going to do if they have to defend themselves?
लेकिन let me accept one thing. Current generation is much more smarter than our generation because they are multi-talented. When we are talking to them, they are watching, they are observing mobile also, they are listening something also, but they are towards their attention is towards us also. So multi-dimensional, they can utilize their mind. We have to divert that multi-dimensional in a proper way to create a wonderful nation. So if we are able to divert their efficiency, multi-talented efficiency of this new generation for nation building, that will be a great thing like
No,
that.
skill-based, skill-based, hands.
Skill-based.
The
Yes.
biggest business, I was talking to somebody who's a partner with a big accounting firm in US. Their biggest business just now is VC, venture capital funds are buying out all the plumbers and electricians because they see that as the only revenue source after AI becomes more widespread. So they are consolidating them, making them into cooperatives so that they get part of the proceeds. So, things are changed.
Yes, yes. So in our Rotary Club New Delhi also we are running skill development programs, AI programs, drone pilot programs. We are taking so many workshops in schools also, teacher training workshops. Okay, so many things. All Rotary Club all over India and all over world we are doing through Rotary, this beautiful organization. So great things. You have shared very nice views of views. If anybody want to share their views, always welcome. Just unmute your mic and share your views. Yeah, or you can ask any questions to speaker also. This is our privilege. We got very learned speaker, multi-talented speaker.
No, even so many doctors you have in this group.
Yes,
I'd love
yes.
to hear their inputs on what they feel about, because they've done their rotations and their residencies and all, but then they meet the other ladies who are just always wanting to be victims, being done to. इसने मुझे कुछ कर दिया, मैं
Yes,
कितनी
yes.
अभागन हूँ, मैं भगवान को और 10 नारियल चढ़ाऊंगी. Like that attitude of helplessness is, so any of the ladies on the group who are doctors want to talk about it?
And as per the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, there is no fate, no nasib, nothing else. Because whatever your karma is there, you can get in return. So if you want a brighter future, so your present should be very active. If you are doing good karma, presently full active, thinking very positive ways, helping to the people, then future automatically your future will be according to that. So there is no fate, no nasib at all as per the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, कि हमारे पास रोज हमारा भविष्य चेंज करने की शक्ति है, क्योंकि आज के हमारे एक्शन के ऊपर ही हमारा फ्यूचर है, ये भगवत गीता बोलती है. सो नाइसली ऑल लर्नेड पीपल है और नाइसली शेयर्ड. अगर हम पूरा बच्चों के ऊपर फोकस करते हैं, हमारे प्राण मेहता बहुत अच्छा बच्चों के ऊपर काम करते हैं, विमल गुप्ता, हमारे अंकुर मित्तल, ये सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा बच्चों के ऊपर काम करते हैं. हमारे अमिता मल्होत्रा भी बच्चों के ऊपर बहुत अच्छी काम करती हैं. तो बच्चों के ऊपर अगर हम आज काम करते हैं और बच्चों को इफिशिएंट बनाते हैं, वुमन को पावरफुल बनाते हैं, इवन वुमन अंदर से पावरफुल बनती है. वॉट एवर योर कंसर्न इज दैट दे शुड वर्क हार्ड, एटलीस्ट 2 hours 3 hours दे शुड वर्क फॉर देम सेल्व. दे शुड गेट some different skills also, and
And
to
try to
yes,
get some income of their own.
yes, yes,
Right?
yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
थोड़ा बहुत को आप बढ़ा सकते हो बाद में, अगर कुछ नहीं करते हो तो फिर कहाँ से आएगा?
Correct, correct, correct,
मतलब
correct.
अगर
हाँ.
पापड़ बना रहे हो तो you can make 10 packets instead of one. The effort has to be there.
यस, यस, यस. और जैसा हम बोलते हैं ना कि जो गरीबी है, जो कोई बोलता है भाई हम हमारी फैमिली गरीब है, ये है, तो ये एक मेंटल सिचुएशन है. जैसा कि कोई अगर देखते हैं 5-6 जन की फैमिली है और उसमें एक ही अगर अर्निंग है, तो वो फैमिली गरीब ही रहने वाली है. लेकिन 60 के ऊपर के छोड़ दो और 18 के नीचे के छोड़ दो, तो बिटवीन अ पर्सन हुआ है हु आर अबाउ 18 एंड बिलो 16, अगर वो घर के सभी लोग अगर काम करते हैं, कुछ ना कुछ अर्न करते हैं, तो वो घर में दारिद्र्य आएगा ही नहीं, गरीबी आएगी ही नहीं. तो ये भी एक इफिशिएंसी मैनेजमेंट का एक प्रॉपर तरीका है. जो मैंने धारावी झोपड़पट्टी में कभी लेक्चर दिया था बॉम्बे में, तब मैंने ये बात बोला था कि गरीबी तभी आती है जब हम एक कमाने वाला है और 5 लोग खाने वाले हैं, तब गरीबी आती है, तब दारिद्र्य आता है. लेकिन आप 5 की 5 लोग हैं, 10 के 10 लोग हैं, सब कमाते हैं, खाली 60 के ऊपर डोंट एक्सपेक्ट एनीथिंग, इवन दो वी आर अबाउ 60. लेकिन हमारा प्रोफेशन में अलग है. हमारे प्रोफेशन में 60 के आगे हमारी कीमत बढ़ना शुरू हो जाता है और अर्निंग पोटेंशियल हमारा बढ़ता है. दैट इज डिफरेंट थिंग. बट अबाउ 60 एंड बिलो 18 अगर छोड़ते हैं, पिछला जो वर्क है ये अगर एक्टिवली अर्निंग करता है और घर पे बैठ के भी कर सकते हैं, कॉल सेंटर घर पे बैठ के चला सकते हैं, काम पे जा सकते हैं. और वर्क फ्रॉम होम ये कल्चर ने थोड़ा सा कुछ कुछ लोगों को बिगाड़ दिया है, क्योंकि वर्क फ्रॉम होम कल्चर में कभी कभी लोग आलसी हो जाते हैं. तो थोड़ा सा अगर सीरियसली अगर वर्क फ्रॉम होम करते हैं और सीरियसली अगर 8 घंटा प्रॉपरली जैसे ऑफिस में बैठते हैं ऐसे वर्क फ्रॉम होम करते हैं, तो दे कैन गिव अ बेटर रिजल्ट टू आवर सोसाइटी. एंड वन मोर थिंग आई वांट टू पुट बिफोर द ऑडियंस, कि हमारे यहाँ पे ना ये फालतू की छुट्टियां बहुत ज़्यादा है. महात्मा गांधी की जयंती की छुट्टी की जरूरत नहीं है, 15 अगस्त की छुट्टी की जरूरत नहीं है, 26 जनवरी की छुट्टी की जरूरत नहीं है. हम कुछ नहीं करते हैं छुट्टी के दिन, कुछ नहीं करते हैं, उल्टा ड्राई डे रहता है तो लोग पहले दिन ही दारू का स्टॉक करके रखते हैं, बाकी कुछ नहीं करते हैं। तो ये सब छुट्टियां बंद कर देनी चाहिए और खाली सैटरडे संडे ऑफ रखो, बाकी सब वर्किंग डे रखो। दिवाली के दिन जिसको छुट्टी लेना है वो लेगा, जिसको ईद का छुट्टी लेना है वो लेगा, बाकी सब छुट्टी बंद कर दो। और फिर देखो कि नेशन कैसा डेवलप होगा। अभी अंबेडकर जयंती की छुट्टी है, क्या करते हैं उस दिन हम बताइए, ऐसा है। तो देर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स वी कैन get through PIL and get through other sources. We can give the representation to the government, and if government is not listening, then we can file the PIL also in our court. तो वो भी हम कर सकते हैं definitely.
So we are, in fact, as Indians, we are so religious, but जब छुट्टियों के मामले में पूरे सेक्युलर हैं, गॉड फॉरबिड कि हमें ईद की छुट्टी ना मिले। ओके, ईद की छुट्टी, क्रिसमस तो मिलना ही चाहिए, ये तो हक है।
और कब सम पीपल लाइक मी, हम सातों दिन काम करते रहते हैं, क्योंकि लोग बोलते हैं, हमारे एसोसिएट भी बोलते हैं कि सर आप थकते क्यों नहीं है। मैं बोलता मैं थकूंगा तब ना जब मैं काम करूंगा। मैं काम ही नहीं करता हूँ, मैं एंजॉय करता हूँ। मैं लॉ में जब रहता हूँ मैं एंजॉय करता हूँ। जब एंजॉय करते तो थकान होती ही नहीं है। इसलिए वर्क करते समय अगर वर्शिप करते हैं, बहुत दिल लगा के काम करते हैं, रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड काम करने की जगह पे आप डिवोटेडली काम करते हैं, पैसे से अपेक्षा करने की जगह पे सेवा भाव रखते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली आपको कभी थकान नहीं होती है। तो संडे को भी मीटिंग लेना है, संडे को भी लेक्चर देना है, संडे को भी कुछ काम करना है, तो भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आता है। तो ऐसे काफी लोग हैं, बहुत लोग हैं कि जो ऑल डे काम करते रहते हैं।
बिल्कुल सही है सर,
यस,
बिल्कुल सही। बिकॉज सर अगर आप अपने काम को लाइक करेंगे, इफ यू लव योर वर्क, तो डेफिनेटली विल वर्क फॉर 24 आवर्स भी आपको कम पड़ जाएंगे।
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट।
सो आई रिक्वेस्ट कि जो भी आप काम करें, यू जस्ट लव इट एंड डू इट पैशनेटली। unless and until there is no passion, there is no liking, whatever you do, जबरदस्ती का काम करा रहे, तो definitely it will be very difficult to get the results as well. So if you
Correct,
love
correct.
your work and you do your work passionately, whatever work you do, जरूरी नहीं है कि आप particularly IT related काम करो या कुछ दूसरा काम करो, but whatever work you have taken in your hand, you just love that work, and then only you will be able to give the best of the results after that the work, and you'll see the beautiful results are coming out.
Yes, 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 yes. So Vikas ji, do you want to share?
Thank you, President Somani, for giving me this opportunity. And मैं बस यही कहना चाहता हूँ to our beloved, wonderful speaker, to Prajakta ma'am, President, Nagpur Midtown, to Secretary, Rotarian Vikrant Darvekar, and to each and every Rotarian, Rotarian, friends, Rotractors, and other people, कि आज के लिए बस यही कहना चाहूंगा कि ये कुदरत का कानून ही है। जिस तरह वक्त के साथ मौसम बदलता है, उसी तरह हालात के साथ कभी कभी इंसान और हुक्म चलाने वालों को भी कभी ना कभी सर झुकाना ही पड़ता है। यही हमारे आज के स्पीकर ने बताया है और हम इस पे अमल करना चाहिए और आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। President Jayaprakash Somani, and to all my Rotarians, I am grateful. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. And I would like
Yes.
to also thank all the members from our club, including our past president, Virendra Patrikar, past president, Pratiksha Mai, Dr. Bhavna Deshpande, Sonali Lute, and Dr. Suchita Ingre, our honorary secretary, club secretary, Vikrant Dharvekar, and other members, my mother, Archana Pandit, who have actively participated in this today's speaker. Apart from that, our very known person is Mrs. Sharma is also have joined this. Thank you, Mrs. Sharma, for joining the today's session. And all the members from the Rotary Club of New Delhi, thank you for joining and giving this an opportunity for this joint meeting. We really enjoyed this session and looking forward for such kind of many more sessions as well in future.
Yes. Thank you, Prajakta, for giving a nice response. In 2 days only, we finalized this project with you. And I must thank Raju Sodhi, our club members, Radha Sood, Amita Malhotra to attend this program, Vikas Seth, then Vimal Gupta, Ankur Mittal, and other members. So thanks for attending this webinar. जल्दी की जल्दी ये webinar YouTube पे upload हो जाएगा, and then I will send the link. Then that link you can share to your members and all, or our COP members also, on COPS groups also, we will share it. Okay, so people will take the test of this latest hot discussions and very nice discussion which took place today. Okay.
Yeah, thank you to Tamali ma'am, Tamali and Gupta as well for this and for enlightening us with your with these views.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prajakta ji. Very nice of you.
Thanks, Tamil. Thanks. Yes.
Thanks once again to everyone.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good night,
Thank you.
Shabbat.
Thank you. Good night, sir. Good night.
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night.
The
Thank you,
meeting
everyone.
the meeting is adjourned now, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Meeting
sir.
is
Yeah,
urgent.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meeting
Thank
is
you,
urgent.
sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.